Good morning, students. Standard 7, Subject Mathematics, Chapter 5, Lines and Angles, Part 2. In our last class, we have started this chapter. I hope you have learned all the definitions which I given to you. What is line, line segment, ray, angles, and different types of angles. First one, adjacent angles. Second, linear pair of angles. Third one, vertically opposite angles. And you have completed your homework from exercise 5.1, question number 1, 2, 3 and 7. Today we are going to study the remaining sums from exercise 5.1. Question number 4, find the angle which is equal to its complement. Yes, you have studied complementary angle and supplementary angle. Here question is, find the angle which is equal to its complement. What is the meaning of this? Angle and its complement angle both are equal. So what is complement means? The sum of two angle is 90 degree. So let one of the two equal complementary angle be x. So angle and its complementary angles are equal. So we have taken both the angles are x. We know that sum of measures of complementary angles is 90 degree. That means x plus complementary angle both are equal. So we can write x plus x is equal to 90 degree. X plus x, that is 2x is equal to 90 degree. So x is equal to 90. This is multiplication. If it goes here, it become division. So 90 divided by 2, that is 45 degree. And angle and complement both are equal. So we have taken that is x. So we can say that thus 45 is equal to its complement. Question number 5. Find the angles which is equal to its supplement. Supplement means the sum of the measures of two angles is 180 degree. And they said angle and its supplementary angle both are equal. So what we will take? Let one of the two equal supplementary angles be x. And we know that sum of measures of supplementary angles is equal to 180 degree. That means x plus x is equal to 180 degree. X plus x, that is 2x is equal to 180 degree. So x is equal to 180. This is multiplication. If it goes here, it becomes division. So 180 divided by 2, that is 90 degree. Angle and supplementary angles are equal, that we have taken x. Therefore we can say that thus 90 degree is equal to its supplement. Question number 6. In the given figure, angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. If angle 1 is decreased, what changes should take place in angle 2 so that both angles still remain supplementary? So question is, here they given angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. If angle 1 is decreased, then what changes should take place in angle 2? Clear? For example, suppose angle 1 is 120 degree and angle 2 is 60 degree. Okay? We know that 120 plus 60 is 180 degree. Now, angle 1 is decreased. What is the meaning of decrease? You have to subtract. So, I am just subtracting here 120 minus 30. You can subtract any number. So 120 minus 30. So what we'll get? That is 90 degree. So angle 1 we got 90 degree. Now read the question. What they ask? If angle 1 is decreased, then what changes should take place in angle 2 so that both angles still remain supplementary? That means here we got angle 1 is 90. Then angle 2 we don't know what changes comes here. But the sum still 180 degree. Okay. Still remains supplementary. That means the sum should be 180 degree. So 90 plus dash is equal to 180 degree. We know that 90 plus 90 is equal to 180 degree. So what do you understand from here? We subtract. Angle 1 is decreased. So before it was 120, now it's 90 degree. That means angle 1 is decreased. So what changes comes in angle 2? Here is 60 degree. 60 plus 30, that is 90 degree. So what changes you have observed here? Angle 2 is increased. Clear? So when the angle 1 is decreased, then angle 2 will increase to get the same sum. That means 180 degree. You can take any example and you can check it is correct or not. So what subtraction you have done, the same number you have to add in the angle 2, then only we will get the same sum. Clear? So if angle 1 is decreased, then angle 2 should be increased to get the 180 degree, that means to get supplementary. So you can write the answer like this. You don't want to write this example, you can write like this. Given angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. If angle 1 is decreased, then angle 2 must be increased by the same value. Okay. If you have subtracted 30 here, then you should add 30 to the angle 2. Hence, this angle pair remains supplementary. Clear? Question number 7. I given homework in the last class. You can check the answer whether you have written correct or not. Can two angles be supplementary if both of them are acute? Answer is no. If two angles are acute, that means less than 90 degree, the two angles cannot be supplementary because their sum will be always less than 180 degree. You can take some example and check. Acute angle means less than 90 degree. You can take any example, but the angle should be less than 90 degree. So I have taken here 80 and 70. What is the 80 plus 70? That is 150 degree. And we know that this 150 degree is less than 180 degree. So if you take any acute angle, always will get sum is less than 180 degree. Okay. So we can say that no, if two angles are acute, means less than 90 degree, the two angles cannot be supplementary. It's clear? The second one, obtuse. Answer is no. If two angles are obtuse, means more than 90 degree, the two angles cannot be supplementary because the sum will be always more than 180 degree. So what is the meaning of obtuse angle? More than 90 degree. So you can take any angle more than 90 degree. Suppose I am taking here 100 degree and next angle is 110. What is 100 and 110? That is 210. Okay. Both are obtuse. So what will be the sum? 210, and this is greater than 180 degree. So what we can say? When we add two obtuse angle, always you will get the sum is more than 180 degree. So again, we cannot say that these two angles are supplementary. Okay. So if both the angles are obtuse, the two angles cannot be supplementary. Third one, right. Yes, if two angles are right, means both measures 90 degree. And the two angles can form a supplementary pair. That means we know that 90 degree plus 90 degree is 180 degree. Okay. So if it is right angle, then we can say that these two angles be supplementary. But if it is acute or obtuse, we cannot say that these two angles are supplementary. It's clear? Question number 8. An angle is greater than 45 degree. Is its complementary angle greater than 45 degree or equal to 45 degree or less than 45 degree? So what do you understand from the question? If angle is greater than 45 degree, then what can you say about its complementary angle? Whether it is greater than 45 degree or less than 45 degree or equal to 45 degree. Clear? So given angle is greater than 45 degree. So angle is not given, only they said the angle is greater than 45 degree. So let's take let the given angle be x. Okay. And they given this angle is greater than 45 degree. So we can say that x is greater than 45 degree. Okay. Now, angle is greater than 45 degree. So, what will be the complement of x? That is 90 minus x. You know that complement means sum will be 90 degree. So, angle is x. So, what will be the complement of x? 90 minus x. And this x is greater than 45 degree. So, what is 90 minus x? It should be less than 45 degree. Clear? Because suppose we are saying that angle x is greater than 45 degree. That means you can take any angle greater than 45 degree. So let's take x is equal to greater than 45 degree means let's assume that x is equal to 50 degree. Okay. So what will be the complement angle? 90 minus x. So that means 90 minus 50. Okay. Because here we have assumed x is equal to 50 degree. So what is 90 minus 50? That is 40 degree. Okay. So x is 15. So 90 minus x is 40 degree. It's clear, children? So x is greater than 45 degree. So 90 minus x is less than 45 degree. Here, thus the required angle is less than 45 degree. Question number 9. In the following figure, is angle 1 adjacent to angle 2? Question 2. Is angle AOC adjacent to angle AOE? So they given like these 6 questions. You have to look at the figure and you have to check. Angle 1 and angle 2. Whether they are adjacent angles? Yes or no? So let's check. Angle 1 means AOC and angle 2 means EOC. Right? You can check like this. This is angle AOC. This is angle 1. And EOC, this is angle 2. Here you can see that this is common vertex and this is common arm, and we can say that these two non-common arms are on either side of common arm. One is OA and one is OE. Both are non-common arms are on either side of common arm. So we can say that these two angles are adjacent angles. Yes, angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles. Second one, is angle AOC adjacent to angle AOE? Let's check. AOC. So AOC means this angle. The next one, AOE. AOE means the whole one, big one, right? This is AOE. They are asking that whether these two angles are adjacent angles or not. So let's check. This is common vertex. Yes. Now which is the common arm? AOC and AOE. You can see here AO and AO, right? That means this side is common. So this is common arm. Common arm is OA. Clear? Now, what is the remaining arms? One is OC and one is OE. Here, OC and OE. That is the next two arms. So they are called non-common arms. But we can see that this is common arm and these two non-common arms are on the same side of common arm, not either side. Okay. So can we say they are adjacent angles? No. No, angle AOC is not adjacent to angle AOE because OC and OE do not lie on either side of common arm OA. It's clear? The third one, do angle COE and angle EOD form a linear pair? Look at the figure. COE and EOD. Okay. Let's check once again. COE. This is COE. The next one is EOD. This is E and this is D. and this is CO. What we can say? This whole angle, right? COE and EOD, the whole one, big one. Can we say they are linear pair? Yes, because in the figure you can say that COD, it is a straight line. COE and EOD. So what we will get? COD. You can say that it is a straight line and sum of the angles of a straight line is 180 degree. It's clear? We can say that yes, angle COE and angle EOD form a linear pair of angle because sum of this angle is 180 degree. The next one are angle BOD and angle DOA supplementary. What is the meaning of supplementary? 180 degree. So BOD, so this is BOD and DOA, same way. BOD means this angle and next one DOA means this angle. Look at this again, it is a straight line. What is straight line? AOB. This full angle means it is AOB. So AOB is a straight line. Again, the sum is 180 degree. So we can say that angle BOD and angle DOA are supplementary. Fifth one is angle 1 vertically opposite angle to angle 4. Angle 1 is this and this is angle 4. Yes, we can say that angle 1 and angle 4 are vertically opposite angle because when two lines intersect each other, vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, and they are vertically opposite angles. What is the vertically opposite angle of angle 5? So this is angle 5. So what is the vertically opposite angle of angle 5? Look at the figure. This is angle 5. So same way you can see here. This is angle opposite angle. Okay. This is angle 5 and this is vertically opposite of angle 5. So what is the angle? Angle 2 and angle 3. Both. Okay. This is angle 5. Vertically opposite angle is angle 2 and angle 3. So we can write like this. Vertically opposite angle of angle 5 is angle 2 plus angle 3, that is angle BOC. 2 and 3. This both angles. That means angle BOC. It's clear? Question number 10. Indicate which pairs of angles are vertically opposite angles. Second one, linear pair. They given one figure here. You have to identify vertically opposite angles and linear pairs. Already I have explained what is vertically opposite angles and linear pair in the last class. What do you mean by vertically opposite angles? When two lines intersect each other, two pairs of vertically opposite angles are formed. And linear pair means the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degree, then they are called linear pair. Clear? First one we have to find vertically opposite angles. So we will draw the figure once again. This is one line. This is another line. Two lines intersect each other, then this is one vertically opposite angles. So here they mark angle 5 and here angle 3, and they have drawn one more line and here is angle 2. So vertically opposite angle means angle 5 and angle 3 plus 2 both. Okay, you cannot say only one, both the angles, sum of angle 3 and angle 2. That is the first pair. And second one we can say this angle and this angle. So here they marked angle 1 and here they marked angle 4. It's clear? So vertically opposite angles are angle 1 and angle 4 and angle 5 and angle 2 plus angle 3. We can say that angle 5 and angle 3 plus angle 2. This full angle. Okay. Now linear pairs. So what do you mean by linear pair? Sum of two adjacent angles 180 degree. We know that this is a straight line. So angle 1 plus angle 5. This is a linear pair. Same way, this line is a straight line. So sum of these angles 180 degree. That means angle 5 and angle 4. So linear pairs are angle 1 and angle 5 and angle 4. It's clear? Question number 11. In the following figures, is angle 1 adjacent to angle 2? Give reason. So they are asking that, can we say angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles? So just recall what you studied adjacent angles. Two angles are adjacent angles. Then they have a common vertex, they have a common arms, and non-common arms are on either side of common arm. Three conditions are there. You have to check one by one. First one is they have a common vertex. First one, angle 1. What is the vertex here? This one will be the vertex. And angle 2, this will be the vertex. And both are common? No. Okay. So first condition itself wrong. So we can say that no, angle 1 and angle 2 are not adjacent angles because they have no common vertex. Clear? So you have to study all the definition. Then only you can solve the sums. Question number 12. Find the values of the angles x, y and z in each of the following. First one, they given one figure. You have to find the value of x, y and z. Look at the figure. You can see that these two lines are intersect. Okay. At this point, so angle x and 55° both are equal because they are vertically opposite angles, and y and z both are vertically opposite angles. So when the figure is given, when you see a figure, you have to identify vertically opposite angles, linear pairs, then you can solve the sums very easily. Okay. Now we can say that y plus 55° is 180° because they are linear pair, or we can say that y plus x is 180° because they are linear pair. So either you can take x plus y or you can take 55 plus y. It's your wish. Okay. But you have to understand linear pairs, adjacent angles and vertically opposite angles. So you can write answer like this. Angle x is equal to 55° because vertically opposite angles. You have to write the reason also. Now x plus y, that is 180° because linear pair. Okay, this is a straight line, so this sum will always be 180°. You have to substitute the value of x. X is 55, so 55° plus y is equal to 180°. Therefore angle y is equal to 180. This is plus 55. If it goes here, it become minus 55. 180 minus 55, that is 125°. We got angle x and angle y. Now we have to find angle z. I have already explained you. Angle y and angle z are vertically opposite angles, so they are equal. So angle y is equal to angle z, vertically opposite angles. Angle y we got 125°, therefore angle z also 125°. So what we can say, angle x is equal to 55°, angle y is equal to 125°, and angle z is also 125°. Second one, here look at the figure. We can say that this sum is 180° because it is a straight line. Okay, you can see here angle 40° plus x plus 25°. It's full. Okay, the whole angle is 180°. That means 40° plus x plus 25°. That is 180°. So you have to start like this. 25° plus x plus 40° is equal to 180°. Sum of adjacent angles on a straight line. This line is straight. Now 40 plus 25, that is 65° plus x is equal to 180°. Therefore x is equal to 180° minus 65, that is 115. Have to subtract and check whether this answer is correct or not. Now we can say that this 40 plus y, okay, these two angles, because this line is a straight line. So 40 plus y is equal to 180° because linear pair. Clear, children? So y is equal to 180. This is plus 40. If it goes here, it becomes minus 40. So 180° minus 40, that is 140°. Again, we can say that y plus z, because this is a straight line. So y plus z is equal to 180 degree. So y we got 140 degree. So 140 degree plus z is equal to 180 degree. This is plus 140. If it goes here, it become minus 140. So 180 minus 140, that is 40 degree. So what is the value of x? X is equal to 115. So already we got, and y is equal to 140 degree and z is equal to 40 degree. It's clear? Question number 13, we can do it as homework. That is fill-ups. Read all the definition and you have to fill it by yourself. Question number 14. The given figure, name the following pairs of angles. First one, obtuse vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles, and it should be obtuse angles also. Okay, you can't take acute angle. So we can say that this is obtuse angle. This angle is obtuse angle. So what is the opposite of this angle? Angle AOD. Okay, these two lines, line AC and line BD, intersect each other at the point O. So these two are obtuse vertically opposite angles. So write the answer like this: angle BOC and angle AOD are obtuse vertically opposite angles. The next one, adjacent complementary angle. Now we have to find complementary angles and it should be adjacent also. Okay, so angle AOB and angle AOE. What is the meaning of complementary? It should be 90 degree. So we can say that this angle AOB and angle AOE, with the sum of this, we can say that this angle is 90 degree. Okay, so if we add these two, we will get 90 degree, and these two are adjacent angles. Why? Because it have a common vertex and common arm, and these two are non-common arms are on either side of common arm. We can say that these two angles are adjacent angle and their sum is 90 degree. So what is the answer? Angle AOB and angle AOE are adjacent complementary angles. Clear? The next one, equal supplementary angles. What is the meaning of supplementary angles? The sum should be 180 degree and equal means both the angles should be equal. Look at the figure. Already I said this angle is 90 degree and we know that this angle also 90 degree because this is 90 degree and this BD is a straight line. So 90 plus 90 is 180 degree. So this is 90 degree. So this angle also 90 degree and 90 plus 90 is 180 degree. It's clear, children? So angle EOB and angle EOD. This both angle sum is 180 degree and both are 90. Okay. So angle EOB and angle EOD are equal supplementary angles. Clear? The fourth one, unequal supplementary angles. Unequal means both should not be equal, but the sum should be 180 degree. So what we can say? One is angle EOA. You can see here. One is angle EOA and next one is EOC. Okay. You can see that angle AOC is a straight line. So this sum should be 180 degree. Okay. So one is AOE and one is EOC. So that is unequal supplementary angle. You can see that this is small angle and this is big angle. Both are not equal. The angle EOA and angle EOC are unequal supplementary angles. Fifth one, adjacent angles but do not form a linear pair. Linear pair means it should not be 180 degree, but it should be adjacent angles. Okay. So more are there. You can write any 2, 3. Angle AOB, not linear pair. So first one we can write like the same, AOB and AOE. The next one AOE and EOD because it is not 180 degree. The next one EOD and angle COD. Okay, you can take like this. First one AOB and AOE. Okay, now next one AOE and EOD. Okay, now next one EOD and COD. These are the three adjacent angles, but they are not forming a linear pair. Open your textbook. Pairs of lines. First one, intersecting lines. The blackboard on its stand, the letter Y made up of line segments, and the grill door of a window. You can see some figures here. What do all these have in common? They are examples of intersecting lines. Here you can see that this board and the stand both intersect at a common point here. Right? Same way, this board and this stand here another intersecting point. Same way you can find out more intersecting points. In the case of Y, line segment this and this line segment both intersect at the point here. Same way this line segment and this line segment again intersect at the same point. Okay. The next one, grill door of a window. You can see that more intersecting lines here. Two lines L and M intersect if they have a point in common. This common point O is their point of intersection. So when two lines intersect at a common point, this common point is known as point of intersection. You can underline in the textbook. Here you can see that line L and line M both intersect at a point O. So here O is the common point and this common point is known as point of intersection. So underline here. It's clear? Next one is think, discuss and write. In the given figure, AC and BE intersect at P. Look at the figure. AC and BE intersect at the point P. AC and BC intersect at the point C. The next one, AC and EC intersect at C. Try to find another 10 pairs of intersecting line segment. You can look at the figure and find more 10 pairs of intersecting line segment. Next we can say EB and CB intersect at the point B. Next one, BE and CE intersect at the point E, and CA and EB intersect at the point P. That is already done, right? Next one we can say BC and EC intersect at the point C. Like this you can find more. So try to find by yourself. Should any two lines or line segment necessarily intersect? So in the given figure, these all line segment intersect each other, right? But can we say necessarily intersect these two line segments or lines? No. If we take the parallel lines, we can say that these two parallel lines never intersect each other. Okay. So can we say no? Okay. Not necessarily always. Sometimes. Okay. Can you find two pairs of non-intersecting line segments in the figure? So in the given figure, we can see that all the line segments intersect each other. So can you find any two pairs of non-intersecting line segments in the given figure? No. In the given figure, all the line segments are intersect each other. The answer is no. The next one, can two lines intersect in more than one point? Think about it. Look at the figure. These two line segments, one is BC and one BE. These two line segments intersect at one point, right? And next one, BC and AC intersect at C. So can we say these two lines are intersect any other point? No. So what is the answer? No. Two intersecting lines will intersect only one point, that is only single point. So two lines always intersect at a single point, not more than one point. Clear? Next, new topic is transversal. You might have seen a road crossing two or more roads or a railway line crossing several other lines. These give an idea of transversal. Look at the figure. Here you can see that four line segments, right? And this is intersect by another line. Okay? And this intersect here, the one point, second point like this, it's intersect. Here also you can see that there is two line, and here more lines are intersect by these two lines. Okay, so what is the meaning of transversal? Means a line that intersect two or more lines at distinct point, that means at different point, is called a transversal. Underline this, very important. You have to write in your book heading, you have to write transversal, then you have to copy the sentence. A line that intersect two or more lines at different point is called a transversal. And you have to draw this figure, that is two line. You can mark any name for this line, line L and line M, and these two lines intersect by another line, that is P. And you can see here these two lines intersect these two another line by 2 points. Here one point, this is another point. Okay, so here we can mark A and here we can mark B. So which line is called transversal? Line P is called transversal because line P intersect line L and line M at distinct point. Okay, different points. So we can say P is a transversal. Meaning is clear? So you have to write in your geometry book like this, heading transversal. You have to write the definition. Then you have to draw the figure. After drawing, you have to write here. Here P is called transversal because line P intersect line L and M at two different points A and B. It's clear? Now, they given two figures and they said here line L and M intersect by a transversal P, and question is P is a transversal to the line L and M. Can we say P is a transversal to the line L and M? Yes, because the transversal P intersect line L at a point that we marked as A, and this transversal P intersect line M at another point, that is B. That means transversal P intersect L and M at distinct points, that is two different points. So we can say that P is the transversal of line L and M. It's clear? Now in the next figure, the line P is not a transversal although it cuts two lines L and M. And why? Here P is the transversal of line L and line M. So question is whether we can say P is a transversal. Let's take first P cuts line L at point A. Let's mark this point A, and the same P cut line M at the same point, right? The same point. So what do you understand from here? Line P intersect line L and line M at the same point. So what is the meaning of transversal? If two lines intersect by a transversal, two lines intersect at two different points. If P is a transversal of line L and M, then it cut the two lines at different points. Okay, that is the meaning of transversal. But in this figure, we can see that P cut line L and M at the same point. So we can say that P is not a transversal. Clear, children? In the first case, P is a transversal because it intersects two lines L and M at two different points. But in the second figure, we can say that P is not a transversal because it intersects line L and M at the same point. Next, try this. First one, suppose two lines are given. How many transversals can you draw for these lines? So, you have to draw two lines, line L and line M. And we will check how many transversals we can draw. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that line is infinite, right? So how many transversal we can draw? Infinite transversal we can draw. Clear? Because if it is line segment, we have some limit, but line is an infinite. Okay? Both the lines are extend indefinitely. So we can draw infinite transversal. Clear? So write the answer here, infinite. Write the answer in the textbook itself. Second one, if a line is a transversal to three lines, how many points of intersection are there? So there are three lines. We can draw three lines here. And if you draw a transversal, how many points of intersection are there? So count how many points of intersection. So here one, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. So how many lines of intersection are there? Three lines of intersection. 3 points of intersection. So if there are two lines, then two point of intersection. If there are three lines, then 3 point of intersection. It's clear? Third one, try to identify a few transversal in your surroundings that you can find by yourself. Next topic is angles made by a transversal. In the given figure, to see lines L and M cut by a transversal P, the 8 angles are marked 1 to 8, have their special names. So look at the figure, line L and line M cut by a transversal P. So at a point, so already we said transversal cut the lines at two different points. So at one point, 4 angles are marked, angle 1, 2, 3, 4. The next point again 4 angles are marked. Angle 5, angle 6, angle 7 and 8. That means total how many angles are formed? 8 angles are formed. Now these angles are marked with a special name. Look at the figure. Here we can say that these angles, that is angle 1 and angle 2 and angle 7 and angle 8. These are outside the line. That means they are exterior angles. And angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6. These are inside the angles, right? Inside the lines. They are called interior angles. Like this you can remember. So interior angles are angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6. Exterior angles are angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 and angle 8. It's clear? Exterior and interior. The next one is pairs of corresponding angles. First time you are studying all these 4 angles. So you have to understand properly and you have to by heart it. Okay. So here pairs of corresponding angles. Corresponding angle means angle 1 and angle 5 and angle 2 and angle 6. Like this you can remember this is the line. So above the line. So here above the line angle 2 and here above the line angle 6. Okay. So angle 2 and angle 6. Same way on the same side of transversal. Okay. Angle 1 and angle 5. So this is the transversal and this angle 2 and angle 6. So above the line the same side of transversal. Same way angle 1 and angle 5. It's clear? Same way we can say below the line. So here below the line angle 4 and here below the line angle 8. That means angle 4 and angle 8, angle 3 and angle 7. It's clear children? So pairs of corresponding angles are angle 1 and angle 5, angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7 and angle 4 and angle 8. You can remember this very easily. So either corresponding angles are above the line or below the line on the same side of transversal. So here angle 1, angle 5, angle 2, angle 6, or angle 4, angle 8, and angle 3 and angle 7. The next one, pairs of alternative interior angles. Already we have studied interior angles are angle 4, angle 3, angle 6, and angle 5. So alternative means this is the transversal angle 4. So alternative interior angle means opposite side of transversal, that is angle 4 and angle 5. It's clear? Corresponding means on the same side, and alternative means opposite side. Like this you have to remember. So one is angle 4, alternative interior angle means angle 5. Clear? Next one angle 3 and angle 6. So one this side and one is opposite side. Angle 3, so opposite side is angle 6. They are called alternative interior angles. Okay. Next one, pairs of alternative exterior angles. Exterior means outside. And alternative means this is the transversal. So one this side and one is another side. Means angle 2 and angle 7, angle 1 and angle 8. Clear? You can mark like this. This is angle 2 and this is angle 7. They are called alternative exterior angle. And angle 7, angle 1 and angle 8. The next one is pair of interior angles on the same side of transversal. So you know that this is the transversal. Interior angles on the same side of transversal. That means angle 4 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 5. This is the transversal same side. That means angle 4, angle 6 and angle 3 and angle 5. It's clear, children? Now, the notebook, you have to write like this. Angles made by a transversal when two lines L and M cut by a transversal P, then some pairs of angles are formed. These are corresponding angles, alternative interior angles, alternative exterior angles, and interior angles on the same side of transversal. Already I have explained. You have to draw the figure, and like this neatly you have to write in your maths notebook. Clear? Next page, try this. Name the pairs of angles in each figure. So here they mark angle 1 and angle 2. Okay. So this is the same side of transversal and both above the line. That means they are called corresponding angles. Like this you have to remember. Okay. Now here we can say that these two lines and this is the transversal, and so transversal 1 angle 3 and angle 4, that means opposite side. Okay. So they are called alternative interior angles. Here one is angle 5 and one is angle 6. Both are interior angles on the same side of transversal. This is the transversal on the same side of transversal. That means pair of interior angles on the same side of transversal. The next one is angle 7 and angle 8. These are below the line. That means they are called corresponding angles. Here this is the transversal. These are two lines. One angle 9, one angle 10. That means opposite side of transversal. That means they are alternative interior angles. Clear, children? The next one is, these are two lines. This is the transversal. So angle 11 and angle 12, that are pair of linear pairs. Okay. Linear pair angles. So if you want to remember easily corresponding angles and alternative angles, look at the shape of this angle. If you draw here one F, so these angles are formed. So corresponding angles are always formed in the shape of F. And in the case of alternative angles, if you draw the shape Z, okay, so these two angles are called alternative interior angle. So in the case of corresponding angles, the shape will become F, and in the case of alternative interior angle, the shape becomes Z. So Z means alternative interior angle, F means corresponding angles. It's clear? Students, We will continue this lesson in the next video. Today we have learned more new topic of lines and angles. You have to learn and you have to understand all the types of angles. What is transversal, pair of corresponding angles, alternative interior angles, alternative exterior angles, and pair of interior angles on the same side of transversal. If you understand and study this topic, then only you can solve the next exercise, that is exercise 5.2. So complete it, and the same sum from your workbook you have to complete in your workbook. Thank you.